Hi, my name is Mark and I teach economics. If you ever saw the musical Fiddler on the Roof, there's an interesting line in it. He says, there's nothing wrong with being poor. On the other hand, it's no great honor either. And in this video, I'm going to ask the question, is it better to be poor when you're young and being raised in a family, or is it better to be rich? Ceteris paribus, all things being equal. That means you come from a loving family and everything else is equal except just the monetary situation. I'm going to take the stance it's better to be poor. I know it seems counterintuitive, but hear me out. First of all, we have 1 million years of evolutionary hard wiring in our brain. And this is about, we want to fight for survival. We want to strive to be a better person and fight and climb our way up. If you're rich, if you're richy rich and you have everything, you know, by the time you're a teenager, it's all about going to the strip malls and texting on your cell phone addictively. But if you're poor, this programming, this 1 million years of evolution kicks in and you're just immediately finding ways to survive and do without. And many people who do this, they have better, richer experiences. My wife, for example, she grew up in Eastern Europe in a village. And they would make homemade bread. They would pick berries and mushrooms in the forest. And it was a magical experience. My friend Willie, he's from Kenya, grew up in a village. And now that he lives here in Florida, he's so appreciative. He's like, I cannot believe I have this. In contrast, if you grew up rich, your brain almost goes through this sensory deprivation. You're always striving to achieve that same level. And even if you're lucky to achieve that level of affluence, it's not climbing. You want to climb. Well, you can say poor people have less opportunities. I'm not talking about the extreme poverty of the developing nations of starvation. I'm talking about most people live, mass of humanity lives quiet lives of desperation. They're struggling to enrich themselves, to be greater. Bobby Fischer, world chess champion. His mother was a single mother and he was even homeless for a while. In Poland or in Eastern Europe and in Russia, so many brilliant minds become doctors, PhDs, chess players, living in 500 square feet. That's 50-meter apartments. Leonardo da Vinci said, large minds make minds small. Large rooms make minds small. If you just come together in this closeness, when you're poor, you have small rooms. You share the family together. Families tend to be closer. I know, there's all kind of other socio-economic problems with being poor. But, you know, there's a lot of advantages on the whole. I'm not saying it's somewhat wonderful, you know, being rich and poor all have its advantages. But I'm just saying, take it from another perspective. When you're growing up, if you educate yourself, if you read sacred scriptures, the Bible, let's say, and if you continue your education, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. In America, we have this free public education, and they have it pretty much all over the world now. If you just, like Abraham Lincoln, he just takes a book and reads it by the fireplace barefoot, you can become anybody you want to be. You know, Lincoln actually said, God loves poor people, that's why he made so many of them. And if you've ever been to a poor country or a developing country, let's say in Africa or South America, you notice the smiles on the kids in the street when they're just playing with these soccer balls. In contrast, if you've been to America in these foofy neighborhoods, in these expensive neighborhoods, you see many kids that are just plugged into the computer or their cell phone, and they have these blank matrix robotic expressions, and everything is ennui, everything is boredom. So that's my video. I just wanted a little bit food for thought today. Although on the outside, it doesn't seem as glamorous to be poor. Certainly, everybody wants to be this Horatio Alger and climb their way up. They don't want to be the richy rich who finds themselves in a lower middle class HOA community just bored out of their mind going down the hill. You want to be climbing, striving. And that's what, if you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that's what life is about. So there's an argument for growing up poor rather than rich. Thank you very much.